The disappearance of Maura Murray, a cold case that refuses to fade. It's just after 7 p.m. on a freezing February night in rural New Hampshire. The road is quiet. No streetlights. No witnesses. At least, not yet. A satin sedan sits against a snowbank, its hazard lights flashing weakly in the dark. Moments earlier, neighbors reported a crash. Moments later, police arrive. But the driver is gone. No footprints in the snow leading away from the scene. No calls for help. No signs of a struggle. And no trace, ever again, of the 21-year-old woman who was driving that car. Her name was Maura Murray, and for more than 2 decades, her disappearance has remained one of the most chilling unsolved cases in American true crime. Maura Murray was born on May 4, 1982. She was described as athletic, intelligent, and deeply private. Friends knew her as disciplined, almost to a fault. She was a competitive runner, a nursing student, a young woman under intense pressure. In early 2004, Maura was enrolled at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, studying nursing, a demanding program with little room for mistakes. But in the weeks leading up to her disappearance, cracks began to show. Trouble before the trip. Just days before vanishing, Maura was involved in 2 separate car accidents, both unusual, both troubling. The first happened after she attended a party at her father's motel. She borrowed his car, crashed it, and was found crying uncontrollably at the scene. According to the police report, there was no sign of alcohol, yet Maura appeared deeply shaken. Then came the second incident. On February 9, 2004, Maura emailed her professors, claiming there had been a death in her family. She said she would be away for a week, but there was no death. That same day, she packed her belongings, withdrew nearly all the money from her bank account, just under $300, and purchased alcohol, wine, vodka, Baileys. She printed directions to Vermont and New Hampshire. Then she got in her car and left campus. She never told her family where she was going, the crime, or the moment everything went wrong. On the evening of February 9th, Maura Satin traveled north into the White Mountains, an isolated, heavily wooded region known for harsh winters and limited cell service. At approximately 7:27 p.m., a resident named Barbara Atwood heard a loud thud outside her home on Route 112. When she looked out, she saw a car had crashed into a snowbank. She called 911. There's been a single car accident. The driver looks shaken, but I don't think she's injured. Another neighbor, Butch Atwood, a school bus driver, stopped to help. He spoke briefly with the driver. Later, he would tell police. She didn't appear drunk. She said she had already called AAA. But there was a problem. Phone records later showed no call was ever made. Butch offered to call the police. Maura refused. Less than 10 minutes later, police arrived. The car was there. Maura was not. When Officer Cecil Smith arrived, he found the car locked, no blood, no footprints leading away, a box of wine inside the vehicle, Maura's cell phone, never used again. Search dogs were brought in. They followed Maura and sent briefly down the road, then stopped. Some believe this indicates she entered another vehicle. Others argue the scent was lost due to traffic and time. Investigators considered several possibilities. She ran into the woods, but temperatures were below freezing. No footprints. No clothing found. She accepted a ride. But from whom? And why has no driver ever come forward? She staged her disappearance, but left behind money, belongings, and future plans. Foul play, the most disturbing possibility, and the one with the least evidence, but the most fair. Maura's family never accepted the idea that she ran away. Her father, Fred Murray, became relentless. He organized searches, hired private investigators, pressed police for transparency. Maura would not just disappear, he said. Something happened to her. But years passed. Tips came in. Leads dried up, and the case grew colder. No arrests were ever made. No remains conclusively identified. No confession. Maura Murray remains officially missing. Her case has sparked documentaries, podcasts, and intense online debate. Some believe she died accidentally in the wilderness. Others believe someone knows exactly what happened and has stayed silent. The road where her car was found remains unchanged. Quiet, dark, Waiting. Maura Murray was 21 years old. She had a future, a family who loved her, and questions that still echo through the cold New Hampshire night. Was it a tragic accident, a desperate decision, or a crime hidden in plain sight? Until the truth is known, Maura's disappearance stands as a reminder. Sometimes, the most chilling mysteries aren't about what we find, but about what vanishes without a trace. Till next time on True Crime Chronicles.